Hi, and welcome to the 31st edition of the Sheepish Magpie. I'm Carolyn, and I'm here to talk to you about knitting and crochet and yarn and lovely squishy things that come in the mail. And thank you very much for joining me. If you're looking at me and saying, gee, Carolyn, you look even more tired and washed out than usual, you'd be right. I put my back out and I am suffering. It's been a couple days now, and thank goodness for Robaxacet. It's the only thing that seems to have made a little bit of difference. My doctor gave me some prescription meds and they didn't really help a lot, but the Robaxacet seems to be helping a wee little bit. And so I'm bored of kind of just sitting around, and so I thought I would make a video and try to stay on top of getting these out a little bit more often now that I'm back from vacation. I do have a few things to show you, and I don't have any finished objects right now. I'm still working on a few things that have been taking all my time. And I did go to a yarn shop and knit with some lovely ladies there and bought some yarn. And I have an unboxing of a little box of crochet for March to show you. So without further ado, let's dig right in. So the thing that's been taking up the most time for me right now has been these socks. And I finished much of the first sock, but not all of it. This is Sax Point, and I showed you the Sax Point yarn in my last video. And you can see here is my yarn for my Afterthought heel. And these socks were done toe up. And that was a new skill for me. And as I've mentioned before, I don't really love new skills, but I thought I'm going to do it. And so I did Judy's Magic cast on and did the toe and did toe up. So the first one took me about, I don't know, 5-6 attempts to get right and to figure it out, but then went along pretty well. And at one point I made a mistake, so I undid it. And I've just been knitting these gorgeous stripes. Now I stopped at the cuff. If you remember that pattern from last week, that Sax Point pattern, it has a lovely cuff of flowers that's in this brick red and kind of a beige. When I was doing my last video too, I was saying I was a little disappointed that this color was very dusty rose, but actually in the sun it is much more brick red. It's such an interesting color that it can show up in different ways and different lights. So I have to do the cuff on this, but I thought that I would knit the second sock to make sure that I had exactly the same number of stripes as before, and I didn't want to do the cuff and have to undo it, so I'm going to start on that. So I got the toe done today, and here's my second toe. And amazingly, this one only took 2 attempts to get done. And what I was most proud of is that I didn't have to watch the video on how to do it again. I had actually remembered how to do it, and so that was pretty satisfying. So that's been one of the things that I've been working on. So I'm a little distracted here because we got a new puppy, and she's adorable, but she's whining at the door, and I'm trying to figure out if my son is going to hear her and take her outside. So Alden, if you can hear this, take her outside. He just had her outside, but we're in that stage of puppy toilet training, and she goes outside a lot. So I just heard the back door open, so yay! He remembered to take her out whenever she kind of makes any sounds, and she's just starting to go to the door and ask to go out, so we're definitely seeing some progress. And the last couple nights I've been in bed, I haven't gotten up at 3 a.m. I got up at 3 a.m. for the first 5 nights to take her out for kind of a midnight pee, and I haven't had to do that last couple of nights, so I feel like things are definitely moving in the right direction. So yay! So yeah, so Sax Point. The other work in progress I'm working on is my Find My Fade sweater, and I'm working on the collar. So I have about, you can see the collar starts about here. So I've done about this much. I'm on to color number 3 of 4. So I'm about, I guess I'm about 60% done. And then that collar is going to be done. And then I just have to finish the sleeve. I took it apart to redo it, and then I should be finished. So I'm super happy about that and can't wait to wear it. I hope the weather is still nice enough to wear it. The puppy's at the door whining again to go, but I think she just wants to be hanging outside because the weather's finally nice. So I will see if I can get you some on-camera time with Miss Stella. So yeah, I was out at a yarn store. I went to Creative Yarns in Scarborough and did some knitting with some lovely ladies there, and I did get a few things. And one of the things I got was another one of these stitch palette boxes, and I did do a little top for the girls. It's on my Ravelry page, in another stitch palette box that was all rainbows, and the girls are really loving wearing clothes that I'm knitting, so I thought I would do another t-shirt for the summer in this, because with it being 100% wool, unless it's very, very hot, they seem to do quite okay with it. And so these are colors that the girls are both into right now, and they're almost the same size. They're only 15 months apart, and I think Jen is going to be taller than her bigger sister Gwen, so right now they can pretty much wear the same clothes. The pants seem a little bit long on Jen, but she can kind of get away with it, so I'll make them both the top and see how that goes. So I bought that, and then when I was there, I saw this yarn and I just absolutely fell in love with it. I didn't need any more sock yarn, but I just love this red. It is such a gorgeous, gorgeous scarlet, and I saw it and it's just, oh, so yummy. Look at it. Look how great. I mean, it's showing up a bit brighter on the camera than it is, but it's just such a gorgeous, yummy red. And if you notice, it really matches my Find Your Fade sweater red from Miss Babs, and so I thought, hey, that'll make some nice socks to match my my sweater, and I can do my 80s socks to sweater kind of matchy thing. So I saw that and I loved it, and that had to come home with me. And this is from a company called Log House Cottage Yarns, so a nice Canadian company, and they really, really nice. But feels very, very nice. And then I picked up, because of it being rainbow, I picked up a skein of Richard DeVries, and this is in Laura Keats. So I guess it looks like those bright, colorful birds. And I have no idea. I just saw it and it was rainbow yarn, so it had to come home with me. And I guess it'll be a pair of socks, or I was going to do a meshy kind of shawl for the summer, and I thought those tropical colors would be beautiful for that. So I think that's actually what I'm going to do, is knit a mesh shawl and find a pattern for that. So that's all the yarn that I've gotten in the last couple of weeks. I'm pretty pleased that my Sax Point went right on the needles, and it looks like I'll be using up every scrap of the striped yarn, so that's pleasing to me. And yeah, so something in and something right out, which suits my stashing needs, which are none, pretty well. So the other thing that just came in the mail today, and as Canadians we get them a little bit late, but is the Little Box of Crochet. This is the March box, and I haven't even opened it. I thought I would open it here with you. So, postcard, and then here is the box for this month. So, let's see. Here's the tissue. It says, "Hey, hey, let's crochet," and I admit I did a spoiler on this by looking at somebody else's box, and here is the little booklet. So it is like a mobile, kind of a crazy, colorful plant holder, or mobile, but I think it's kind of meant to be a plant holder. So that's really interesting. They call it a boho chandelier, but I think I'm going to try to do it like a plant holder. This box also comes with a notebook and a Little Box of Crochet pen, and a coupon for this little box, this book from the designer who's on the video for this month, who's on the pattern for this month. There's the usual stitch marker, and this one says 25. Now, I don't know what 25 signifies, so maybe it's in the pattern. A crochet hook, and of course the needle and bodkin that always comes. And I don't know what's in the little box. So we've got these really colorful yarns, and then there is another little bag that has some things in it. So this is, what's in here is, it looks like, I would have thought was like a lamp form, but I guess it's going to form the basis of the chandelier, or plant pot holder. And so yeah, it's like a wire form. So I think I'm going to crochet around that. I don't really know. I haven't looked at the pattern yet. So that's this month's little box of crochet. Definitely something different, not a scarf, not something that's been done before. So that's kind of cool. It might look pretty sweet here in my office where I get a fair amount of light, as you can see over here. So Little Box of Crochet is changing their format. They are currently monthly, and they're going to buy monthly for the same price and a bigger box. I guess perhaps they feel like they're a little bit hemmed in by the price point of a monthly box and doing smaller projects. So I'm really curious to see what they will do, and I'm going to keep that subscription. So we'll see what they come up with. So the next box is not going to ship out until May. So I've got a little bit of ways to wait for that. All 3 dogs are in my office right now. One of them opened the door up, so rude, and came in. Let me see if I can get you to see the new puppy and the other dogs. Oh, all right, so let's see here. There's Oscar and Felix, and there's little Miss Stella down there getting tangled up in my yarn. Oh, and starting to eat it, which means I have to go and get her out of that project. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Take care. Bye.